We are still on the roller coaster. That's our topic for today's Backstage Pass. Well, stocks are down sharply so far today. Mortgage bonds are down as well after a big up day yesterday. Mortgage rates opened higher than where they closed yesterday. We'll talk more about that in just a minute, but first let's talk about some news for the day. First headline news item is Q2 GDP. You're like, we're almost done with Q3. Why are we talking about that? Well, it takes a few months for the people who put together these numbers to come up with final numbers for gross domestic product. So Q2 GDP, the final number was just released, came in at a -0.6%. That was in line, which was with what was expected, and it was also in line with the second reading. So that final reading for Q2 GDP is finally out. And again, it takes a few months for them to put together the final reading as data all comes in. Now, in the jobs market, initial jobless claims, well, that came in 16,000 lower than what was expected. We're actually under 200,000 for initial jobless claims, coming in at about 193,000. And it's a bit of a head scratcher because anecdotally we've heard stories from especially bigger companies that are saying that they're pausing hiring or they're reducing headcounts. Really seems like companies are holding on to workers because the pool of available workers to draw from is not very big, and so companies are holding on to workers a little bit longer than what we would expect from what's going on, especially with the work that the Fed is doing in raising the Fed fund rate and kind of trying to tighten the economy up. The jobs market is really lagging behind, and it's still remaining very, very tight. So that's what's going on with jobs. Now, tomorrow we will get PCE, the personal consumption expenditure. This is the Fed's favorite measure of inflation, and the PCE data, the headline data, is supposed to come in for August and increase 0.2%. The year-over-year headline data, well, that's looking like that's going to come down just a little bit. But what the Fed is really focused on is the core PCE data. Core PCE strips out food and energy costs. Right now, it's forecast for core PCE to rise about 0.5% for the month of August. And it looks like the year-over-year is going to rise as well to about 4.8%. Now, look, the PCE data as it comes out tomorrow, if the data comes, the actual data comes under what's forecast, it could be good for the markets. If it comes over what's forecast, it definitely will be adverse for the markets. But we don't expect anything wild or different to be in this data. We really expect it to kind of echo the CPI data that we saw earlier in the month. So we're not expecting a lot of movement off the PCE data itself. We expect it to be pretty much nominal. Now, moving on into the bond markets, mortgage bonds, like we said, we're on the roller coaster. Yesterday we had a nice up day, and again, we were worried about was this a shift or a bounce? So right now the data's kind of showing maybe it's more of a bounce, because today, well, we're down 42 basis points on the day. 10-year yield is up 5 basis points, trading at 3.76%, and just kind of in this wait and see, riding the roller coaster mode for the bond market. The national average for a 30-year fixed for yesterday, well, it came in at 6.65%. It had a pretty nice drop, seeing as the day before it was about 7.08%. But again, mortgage rates are right in the roller coaster with bonds. Today, we're expecting that to come in at closer to 6.95%. That's for the national average for the 30-year fixed rate. Now, that's all the news that we have for today. We will bring you the PCE data tomorrow as it comes out, along with a little bit of analysis on what's going on in the markets and how that's affecting the markets. But until then, again, our thoughts and prayers are with all of our friends and family in South Florida in the aftermath of Hurricane Ian. We're thinking about you and praying for you, and also for the folks that are along the southeast, the southeast coast and Carolinas and all that. It looks like Georgia, looks like Ian maybe headed your way. So be prepared, stay safe. Thoughts and prayers are with you as well. Remember to stay positive. That's all the news we have for today. We'll see you tomorrow.